welcome to the Experience Podcast. It's just me again this week. I'm traveling again, so a lot of travel, a lot of stuff going on. If you didn't catch, on my personal YouTube channel, which I believe is linked to the podcast YouTube channel, so you can get, let me double check right now for you. Let me see. Let me open up the channel here. Well, I don't really see it on here, I guess. Is it in playlists, maybe? No. YouTube kind of changed. Oh, it is. It's in featured channels. Yeah. So if it's in featured channels, you can get there, and you can kind of check out the video that I put together of the trip that I went on this past weekend. And next weekend, or this upcoming weekend, which is in tomorrow at that time I'm recording this, I'm going on an impromptu trip. So, yeah, kind of to the same place, which is ironic in a way. Anyway, so we're recording this out. I was supposed to record this one this week, but then they pushed it back a couple weeks. And then also, just want to let everyone know I am feeling a little under the weather. I'm getting over a cold. I'm on like the home stretch, the fever's gone. Everything's pretty much gone except like my throat's a little scratchy. So there's going to be a lot of like that. Throat clearing. I haven't really been coughing. It's mostly been like throat clearing, and like some minor congestion, like sinus congestion, but not that bad. For the most part, it's really just like a scratchy throat. So there might be some some minor throat occurrences throughout this recording, just to let you guys know. I apologize, but I'm doing the best I can. And so hopefully I don't have to talk too much during this. We're just going to kind of roll right through it. But I haven't even announced it yet. It's in the title, but we're doing the episode number 5 commentary, the ASMR episode. So this is one, I would say, when Connor and I were first doing these, like this is when we both felt like we found our stride, right? We kind of hit our stride. This is like where we really like, I feel like, and I think he feels the same way as well. This is where we sort of really felt like, okay, this is the podcast that we're doing, right? The first few episodes were kind of like, okay, we're trying to find our footing. And episode number 4 is when we had our first guest on, Libby. And that was a hoot, I guess you could say. Libby is a character, if you will. And then, episode 5 is when we're like, okay, this is the show that we're going to be going with. This is what we're doing. And so it gets kind of wild. From what I remember, again, I haven't listened to this since we recorded this. When was this? 6 years ago, July 31st, 2018. 7 years ago, really. Almost to this date. So it's sort of an anniversary, if you will. Yeah, 7-year anniversary of the ASMR episode. Well, let's see. When did these come out? These will come out 8/15/22. Yeah, it's close enough to the 7-year anniversary of the ASMR episode. And generally speaking, the 7-year anniversary of the show altogether. One other thing before we get started. I know we're dragging out the intro here. I have had some small audio issues with my mic. I don't know why. That my mic has been a little soft. So hopefully it's fixed. I tried to make adjustments. But leave a comment. Let me know if it's kind of out of whack. Leave a comment either on the YouTube channel or on Spotify or wherever you listen. Again, we always recommend that you listen on Spotify or Apple or one of the podcast apps as opposed to YouTube. Although if that's where you want to listen, that's where you want to listen. So all right, let's get into the episode. Again, it's episode number 5, the ASMR episode. It's just Connor and myself in this episode. So let's go. We're recording.
Oh.
Yeah, we started.
Good morning, everyone. It is April 23rd, 2039, a Tuesday.
All right, none of that's right.
No.
Welcome, everyone, to the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And this week there's no guest. There could have been.
There could have been. There was supposed to be one,
It wasn't necessarily supposed to
but
be.
Daniel ruined it.
There was a good chance there was one, and it was kind of Connor's fault.
Daniel slid out of the DMs.
Well, at least I wasn't late this week.
I swear, I was late. I was late today.
Where were you doing? Why are you so late?
You know what I did? What I did? So
No, I don't know what you did.
I gotta tell the story. How did you know what I did? That's crazy.
Mhm.
I actually went home for my hairbrush. I left work at 3:50, and I went home because I thought I would have enough time. I did not have enough time. Traffic was awful. So
You really went home for a hairbrush.
I really went home. I went out of my way.
Was your hair normal when you left work?
It was normal when I left work, but I was like, I wanted to be more normal. So I got my hair.
Pausing here, I definitely remember the hairbrush story. Sorry, as I'm talking, my throat's getting a little sore. I might go pick up my cough drop while we're listening to this. Yeah, I definitely remember this hairbrush story. This definitely rings a bell. Like, okay, yeah, I remember Connor was like big hairbrush guy. You know, he would go. Maybe he still is, but big hairbrush guy. So sorry, let's get back into it.
Brush.
How does that look when it's not normal?
No, it looks fine.
So why do you need your hairbrush?
Well, I wanted my hairbrush because I always have my hairbrush. It's just
Clearly you didn't. You didn't bring it to work today.
I didn't bring it to work.
Do you
today.
bring it to work every day when you go to work? When you don't, if you're not recording that day.
Sometimes not. It's if my hair
It's a
is still wet.
safety net.
Because I take a shower in the morning.
Okay, I'm good with that.
If my hair is still wet, I bring my hairbrush.
Why wouldn't you just brush it at home?
Because sometimes it dries unevenly.
Get like a blow dryer.
I have a blow dryer, but I can just do it naturally with the window open. So.
Oh, you brush your hair driving to work.
Yes.
Don't you need both hands to drive though?
Fun fact: you do not need both hands. You need one hand to drive.
You're shifting gears.
Shifting gears. When I'm not shifting gears.
So it's like one brush every minute.
It's one
a
brush.
stroke, and then
one
you're
brush,
driving, and then you gotta shift.
Yeah, 1 BPM. Sometimes 2 BPMs. I got a little meter next to the speedometer. You know.
Anyway, this is the Experience Podcast. We are available on podcasts.com, YouTube, Google Play, Spreaker, and
Almost iTunes.
almost iTunes. Connor put in something in there checking to make sure
They're checking to make sure it's legal.
it's legal. We can't confirm whether it'll go through or not.
It might actually not. It might be like, this is way too good for
It's
this.
too good for iTunes, apparently. We'll let you know. It should be up by the next podcast. Actually, by the time this podcast goes out, it should be out. It should be up on iTunes. Theoretically. I don't know how long it takes.
We don't know how long does it take. I don't know. I didn't look it
We
up.
are pre-recording a little early this week just because of scheduling things, because Connor is annoying.
True. a fact.
And we walk into my building, and Connor is desperate for a soda.
Mm-hmm.
So we walk over to the vending machine, and he selects vitamin water.
What is wrong with me?
You said you wanted a soda. You were hyping up the soda.
I was hyping up the soda. I was
And I was like,
ready.
all right, what soda is he going to get? You know, he's going to get Sprite, Coke, Mr. Pibb, root beer, whatever.
There was no. If there was root beer in
If
there,
it was root beer, you would
I
have
would have gotten root beer.
No, because what was your reasoning for getting the vitamin water?
I didn't want to. What's the proper word for burping? The astute word.
Look it up. Burping.
Burping. I didn't want to burp formally
You can
on the
still
show.
burp with the vitamin water, though.
So no, you can't.
Yeah, if you drink it too fast. Like,
Drink
let's
too
say you
fast.
drink it all at once by the time I turn around.
True. I might burp.
And, of course, that happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's, I guess, our fourth sponsor for the day.
That's our 11th sponsor,
Okay.
Glacier Vitamin Water. To make something. And it's called.
Pausing here. I don't remember. I mean, this whole vitamin water soda thing sounds familiar. I don't remember if I walked over to the vent. I know I'm providing incredible commentary here, but I don't remember if I specifically walked over to the vending machine with him. I think I did. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Maybe he went out and got it by himself. And then I was like, "Why did you get vitamin water if you were?" Because he came in, he was like, "I'm gonna go get a soda." He was hyped for a soda. Okay, not like regular hype. Not like, "Oh, I guess I'll get a soda." He was like, "I am ready for a soda. just didn't get a soda. So that's all. Okay, back into it.
It's called Orange. The vitamin water. That's interesting.
The first orange is the color.
Mm-hmm.
The second orange is the flavor. So it's an orange flavor. It's an orange-colored, orange-flavored drink.
Ah, so it's like blue raspberry, orange.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess that's how they do it.
Yeah.
That could be confusing for people like you.
True. I gotta read between the lines.
I like how they say it's a flavor plus other natural flavors with sweeteners.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it originally flavored with? It's flavored, and then on top of that, there's other flavors.
Yeah.
Why don't they just say flavors from all sources?
Flavors.
Because the first flavor could mean anything. The first flavor could mean anything.
Yeah.
The other one, at least they know, okay, it's natural flavors, which again technically could mean anything.
Mm-hmm. The first one could be like gasoline flavored.
It's natural.
Yeah.
And then with sweeteners, and they don't tell you which sweeteners. I guess it'd say it on the ingredients.
Yeah.
But if you ever look at a vitamin water ingredients list, it's it's like your chemistry lab.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the hell is all this stuff?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, everyone, please get out your vitamin water bottles and read along with us, or just use your X-ray podcast listening.
Yeah, I mean, really. Pyridoxine hydrochloride.
Wow. Can that be our next segment? We'll go through every single ingredient in vitamin water and explain what it actually is.
Yeah, but it's stuff even I don't recognize on here. I mean, there's the usual vitamin C and that sort of thing. But calcium lactate, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Magnesium lactate. These are just the electrolyte sources.
Thank you for reading that. I was reading it too, so if you were listening, it sounded like he was saying something smart, but he literally just read it in order. It just says
reading the words on the ingredient. They also have crystalline fructose.
Mm-hmm. Not just normal fructose.
Crystalline.
Just crystals just shoved in there.
It's a liquid, so I guess they melt it down or something.
Yeah.
Crystalline meaning.
I can name my child Chris, but it'll be short for crystalline.
And the middle name would be Taline.
Oh.
Yeah, so his name is Chris Taline. Last name.
Whatever my last name is.
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know. We can't reveal that on the show.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Even though it's in the
description. I think it's been revealed. I think it's in the description. I don't know. It is somewhere. Mm-hmm. Maybe on YouTube. It's definitely not on podcast.com where you can find
the something.
Something.
Where you can find somewhere. So yeah, visit us at podcast.com/contact us.
That's not going to lead you to this.
So
us.podcast.com.
Podcast.podcast.com?
Yeah.
That's our website. That'll be good.
Podcast plural, though.
Podcasts.
Pausing here. Sorry, I got a cough drop while I was out. I believe that you can still go to podcast.com and it'll still redirect to... Actually, they might redirect to Anchor, which then redirects to Spotify. You might get like a triple redirect. Or I guess that's just a double redirect. There's only 2 redirects. Yeah, it's only double redirect. But yeah, you can find us on Spotify is where it's hosted now. Podcast.com we started with because it was easy and I didn't really know about Anchor at that point. And then I don't remember when we switched. It was like 30 or 40 episodes in, and then we switched. We probably announced it in the episode. And at the beginning, Connor was still trying to get us. You had to like submit your RSS pocket. So the good thing about Anchor is they would submit your RSS feed to different podcast hosts. Podcast.com didn't do that, so we had to basically do it ourselves, which is a little more annoying. So, Connor was working on the Apple podcast, or I guess it was iTunes at the time. It was in 2018. It became Apple Podcast. Well, I was working on the Google podcast, which then basically just got merged with YouTube. So, just so you guys know. Okay, keep going.
A podcast about cats.
Podcasts.
That's our next podcast. And we're
adding that. Yeah.
We'll interview cats at like the humane shelter, like just before they get.
Yeah, well, that'll be video though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like the cameraman. I'll walk around and you're holding a microphone, but it's got to be like a cat toy microphone.
Yeah, like he's got like catnip on it.
Yeah, and then you're holding it up and you're like, how's life in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We interview cats and we get the real story.
We get the real story because people don't talk about cats enough.
Mm-hmm.
People are entertained by cats, but no one asks, how is that cat doing? You know, how's that cat's mental state?
No, we already did this with the dishwasher. We can't repeat that bit.
Sure.
What are the appliances feeling?
Yeah.
If you listen to the first episode. Was it the first episode or second episode?
That was the
second episode.
That was the second episode.
We get lost. We've only done 5 of these and we're already lost.
Man. The cats.
Cats. We'll do that. Podcats. That is the way, if we get a lot of emails.
Mm-hmm.
TheExperiencePodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
People keep asking us, why do we still have the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
We're thinking about expanding. If we want to add that math thing, that weird math thing you want to do,
That weird math.
that would probably be on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
If we go video,
Mm-hmm.
we'd have the video on the YouTube channel, and then
We could not videotape in here. This is the ugliest studio.
This is the ugliest studio in the world.
It's horrendous. I think.
What's wrong with it? It's a room.
It's, as Libby said, I don't know what
Yeah, I'm not sure what this color
the
is.
lighting is awful.
The lighting is bad, but we wouldn't. Okay, actually, we're gonna have to change podcast studios. Not next time we record, but the following one, I guess, because I'm gonna lose this room.
You can lose this room. It's sad.
You might record in the living room, and then that's at least a little better for video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but we are gonna have to change podcast studios, so that's a thing.
So keep if we sound different on
If the echo is different.
if the reverberation of our voices
Sound different. That means we are in a different studio. Though the next show will be in the same podcast studio, and hopefully with the guests next week.
Which we don't know who it is.
We don't know who it could be. You could bring a guest.
I
It
could
doesn't
bring
have to be
guests.
all my guests.
None of my guests are here though. All my guests are in like Timbuktu
I don't think so.
or close to it.
You don't have any friends. That's part of the problem.
I don't have any friends. So how would I bring someone on the
Bring
show?
in like your boss from work.
Bring my boss from work, and then I could explain to him, be like, "Hey, I'm not actually.
He did say you were the number one guy.
I was the number one guy, and now he'd be like, man, this is the number worst guy."
Yeah, making me do this. He just sits here and listens to you babble about how much you hate work, I guess. Though you like it. You say you don't do anything.
I do something.
You do something.
I do something.
No one really knows.
How would I
what you
be
do.
the number one co-op of this man if I didn't do anything?
Because you didn't do anything wrong. Because you're just
I
sitting
can't
there
do
doing
anything wrong
You can't
if
mess
I
up.
don't do anything.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's something you would do. No, anyway, relating to that,
Yeah,
but not.
but not.
I was walking down the sidewalk on campus the other day. No, it was yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
No, it was the day before that. What's today?
It's Thursday.
April 23rd or 2039.
April
Is that what you
23rd,
said
23rd.
earlier?
I think so. I said earlier. Yeah.
You said Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know that's right. I was walking out. I guess it was yesterday, and there was this family. I guess the mom, 2 boys, and her husband. And they're walking around. They're around the student center, and they're like, "Oh, how do we get to there? Let's just ask this guy for directions. This guy looks like a student." I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then the dad yelled at her, "No, we're not lost." I think I ever heard them. They were trying to find the parking lot. They were going, and they were like walking into the students. They were walking in the wrong place. I was like, "What's going on? Why? Let me ask you. The whole point of this. Well, there's no point. But why are men so afraid to ask for directions?"
Okay. Let's delve into this.
Yeah.
That's our next thing. Why are men afraid to ask questions?
Because the woman's just like, the mom was like, "Oh, let's just ask the student. We need to know where we're going." And they were very clearly lost. The dad was very clearly did not know where he was.
I think.
Is that a pride thing?
Did he have male pattern baldness? What stage was he in?
Oh, crap.
Did he have the
I
full
can't
horseshoe
remember.
going? Because that might be a sign. Maybe.
I can't remember. He definitely was there was some baldness going on.
There was some baldness going on.
Not too much though.
Too much. But slight.
There was some slight baldness. Like he's just experiencing the decline and he knows it.
And he knows it, and he's like, I can't reverse
Yeah,
this.
he's seeing it. He saw it in the mirror a few days, like maybe a few weeks ago, a few months ago. He's like, well, it all goes down from here.
Yeah. I can't cover this up. Maybe that's what it is.
And he's compensating for that.
And men are afraid to ask questions because they're balding.
That's
Pausing here. Let me know. Is the reason that men are afraid to ask questions because of balding? Is it like is that like a pride related thing? You know, they lost their hair, so they can't lose their pride or sense of self-worth or whatever. You know, let me know. Oh my God, there's a loud vehicle outside. Okay, so we're gonna go maybe another 5 or so minutes, and then we're gonna pause, and we'll be back for part 2 later. So, but let's continue.
those are probably related.
That is high correlation. Even though we don't know if he was balding, and that's our one source. There we go.
I can't confirm he was balding.
But we can confirm that men bald, and we can confirm that men don't like asking questions.
Isn't that they don't like asking questions in general? Because usually the thing is they don't like asking for directions. So you're saying
Yeah.
all questions.
They don't like being...
So let me ask you a question as a man.
Of course.
What makes the correlation as you sink down in your
Yeah,
chair?
sit
I
down
don't
in
know
my
what
chair.
you're doing here.
I'm relaxing.
It is a rocking chair. You can lean back. I
Can
don't
lean
think
back.
you realize that, but I want you to stay close enough to the mic.
Yeah.
Now you're too close.
Right here.
This is
It's
just
the
too much. This is
ASMR
too much.
podcast.
Well, we are going to do we're supposed to do the AMS podcast this week.
Yeah.
What things
the
can we do?
AMS, the ALS podcast, Ice Bucket Challenge podcast.
Yeah.
Duck right in.
But it's just audio. We, don't
Uh-huh.
we just hear ice getting poured on you. No, we got to do an ASMR podcast. What can we do?
We're gonna do that. I don't know. Whatever ASMR is.
Do you have any more? Yeah, go ahead and drink right into the microphone.
All right. I'm not doing that because we got to prepare our audience for that.
Are you
that
gonna?
good?
No, I don't think they heard any of that.
Okay.
Actually, it's reading as they heard none of that.
Give me your thought answers if you
Thought
heard
answers.
that. I'm scanning right now. They did not hear
They
that.
did not hear any.
No.
You're gonna have to make it a bigger
I'm gonna
thing.
have to make it a bigger
You can
thing.
lean closer to the microphone here.
I'll make a swishing sound.
I can't
You
tell
have,
if
you
that
have to
was
guess the
recorded.
sound. You have to guess the sound. What is that?
I can't tell if that was recorded on there or not.
Okay. Well, what was the sound? You have to guess. That's the game.
Am I guessing?
You're guessing. What was that noise?
As I just saw you do that.
Yes.
Was it chicken?
It was not chicken.
No. Okay. Was it let's see. Was it a lamp?
Oh, close.
Am I close? Okay. Okay.
Close. Close.
Okay. Let me see. Let me think. What was it? What would it be?
What if you-
Was it a window closing?
Almost. You
Am
are
I getting
almost
warmer?
there.
Am I getting warmer?
You are almost there.
Okay. Okay.
Just-
Okay. Let me think. Let's see. Was it that thing where you're in a four-way stop and you don't know which person's going to go first, and you're afraid to go first, even though there's a rule that you're supposed to let the person on the right go first?
Yes.
Oh my
That
goodness!
was it.
Thank goodness, I got it.
Pausing here. Did anyone get it? Anyone who's listening to this for the first time figure that out? That was the answer. You know what? I'm gonna give myself credit. Those were some good guesses. Those were some good guesses. Okay, we're gonna go 3 more minutes. Let's back it up.
That was it.
I got it.
Yeah.
That was tough. You
tough.
you really had me going there.
Yeah. But you got it.
That's
That
good.
was my
That's
favorite
good.
noise. It was a great noise.
Good.
Yeah.
What other ASMR things are there?
I don't know.
Let's see. We need to make. That's what we'll do. Top 10 things for ASMR noises.
Top 10 ASMR noises.
Yeah.
Except I don't listen to ASMR, so I really don't know.
I don't know either, but some people do. They go home at night. It's like 2 a.m. or whenever you go to sleep, and they listen to that to go to sleep for hours. They just put it on. You could put out a YouTube video that's like top Star Wars Easter eggs, Marvel, DC movies.
Mhm.
It gets like 5 views.
Yeah.
You put out an ASMR video, that's millions.
That's millions. You're right there.
That's millions. That's the industry we should be in.
What's the industry? Why are we still doing actual voices?
Yeah.
We can be doing ASMR. We have a.
You need to have your own ASMR voice.
Mhm.
You have to switch over to an ASMR voice.
Yes. Don't know what that means, but I need to.
Well, try something out here. Just go ahead, spitball it.
pausing here. We're going to get to that in the next episode. Look at that cliffhanger. Yeah, we're 16 minutes in, 16 and 53 seconds in. That's a good point to stop. Thank you all for listening to this episode. This is a good. I'm liking it. I am liking it. It's. I believe it gets wild later. I don't actually remember. Maybe this is a very tame episode. I don't remember. But yeah, like I said when I re-listened to the first episode, I really do believe like these first episodes that we did of the podcast are better than I remember. Like I kind of remembered them being like, oh, it was a little rough, like we didn't know what we were doing. But like, I do genuinely think that Connor and I just work well off each other, and like we could just make it work, you know, no matter what, no matter the situation, like we could just make it work. Maybe I should hit him up. Maybe we can get back on the podcast. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's part 1. Please come back for part 2 next week. Thank you for listening.